Hello and welcome back to Kinda Neat. To pass time until the next anime expedition, I'm gonna attempt to recreate some iconic anime meals in real life. Starting with one of my favorite movies, Makoto Shinkai's Weathering With You. There's a scene in the movie where Hina is cooking some creative, budget-friendly meals for Hodaka, and they actually sounded surprisingly good. So today I'm gonna be making, or at least attempting to make, potato chip fried rice with a side of instant ramen salad. I'm not exactly the best cook in the world, but I've got a can-do attitude and a total lack of shame, so no matter what, we're in for a treat. Step 1. The grocery run. One of the most underappreciated parts of anime is the artist's ability to draw mouth-watering close-ups of food. Most people are familiar with Food Wars, and some of you might even recognize some iconic meals from Ghibli movies. But if you watch closely, there's actually a ton of anime that put a great deal of detail into every plate and every jelly donut. It's been a while since we've done this, eh? If this was that scene from The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, she would have had plenty of time to make it. Since we just bring back memories, yeah, should I drive on the other side of the road for nostalgia? It's great to be back in the kitchen. That did not go at all how I was hoping. Step 2. It's time to brew. And this is where things get a little tricky, so watch closely. First, we're just gonna apply a generous layer of sesame oil to the pan, and try to keep in mind that I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Put that on as low as it goes, just to warm up the oil a bit. So how the f do I grate ginger? How much ginger is a lot of ginger? Next up, onions. What was that?
The rice is done.
While you're chopping these bad boys, you may as well binge watch Clannad so you can use them as an excuse for crying like a little baby. You can drip some of these babies into here for some extra kick. Oh, sorry, safety first. We won't have to call the fire force. Did you ever watch that anime? Isn't there like a firefighting nun in it or something? Okay, so now we're just gonna let these cook up in the oil until they're nice and sauteed. What does it mean to saute something? Please consider subscribing because I'm gonna need all the clout I can get to help me cut these sprouts. Clout and sprout rhymes, right? It's a healthy amount of bean sprout.
弟と二人ちょっと事情があってさ
So I think the reason that Hina was making these meals for Hodaka was because they're on a pretty tight budget at that point in the film. But I feel like if I was on a budget, I'd do something a lot simpler than this. This actually wasn't that cheap, and I'd just like eat spoonfuls of peanut butter or something, but hang on a second. Not my finest moment. Nope, they were right. Make this. I'm gonna crank the heat right up. I think in the movie they used like sea salt and seaweed flavor or something like that, but obviously, unfortunately, we do not live in Japan and those aren't really an option, so we went with original because I feel like that'll be the least offensive taste. Grab yourself a big handful and just crumple them on top. What do you think about that ratio? Should I add more?
This is potato chip fried rice, not fried rice with potato chip.
An excellent point. There we go, that'll probably do. I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon supporters, Blue Creates and Drop ZZ, who supplied the ingredients used in today's video. If you'd like to join the Kinda Neat family, there's a link in the description. Okay, while that's cooking, I think we can channel our inner yawn through it.
Chop up some vegetables.
And I'll chop up what tomatoes we have left from that little accident before. And after you're done with that, gently finesse your instant ramen.
そっか
Oh. Do I look like Hina? God. What I meant to do is we're gonna take out our flavor packets and mix them in here and shake it up. And then, clean up the giant mess you made. The dressing they use for the salad is a soy sauce Japanese mayo mixture. And if all you've got is regular mayo and you think that's gonna work, you are so wrong, because there's nothing more different than regular mayo and Japanese mayo. I have no idea what the proper proportions for this is, but let's do something like that. That actually doesn't look too bad. The rice still needs a bit more time, so I guess we'll try to plate up the salad the best we can. So I'm looking at a screenshot from the movie, and looks like they just make a little ring of tomato and then kind of sprawl the ramen on in big chunks. In the movie, the dressing's served on the side. So this is just about ready to go, and it actually looks pretty similar to what it looks like in the movie. And our rice looks just about good to go as well, so now we just have to figure out how the f they get it in that shape. Put that off to the side for now, and then we are gonna attempt to plate the potato chip fried rice. So in the movie, they have the rice served in like a really nice dome shape, so I'm gonna try to pack it in here and see if we can recreate that the best we can. All right, the moment of truth. Hey, that's pretty good. Now we just need to scoop out a perfect little dimple for the raw egg to sit in. Okay, we're almost there. Ari, the egg. Okay, for real this time. Ari, the egg. Let's just pretend like I caught it. Ari, the egg. Oh, thanks, Ari. Good throw. So now we need to separate out the whites from the yolk, like that. Very nice. Put our yolk right there, like that. And put those exactly 2 centimeter long bean sprouts just around the outside. Though, the ones in the movie had some green to them, so I might cut up some green onions instead.
Negi negi. Negi.
Oh no, Frank, don't eat the raw egg, no! Frank, this is not the place for you. Oh, no, I'm missing one important step. Hina like laid out a few potato chips around one side, just as a little garnish. Step 3, Itadakemasu. So in the movie, it looked like they're serving it with some sort of chilled tea, but the best I had is instant coffee, so that's what we'll do. I think I should probably rate it somehow, maybe based on taste and then similarity to the anime. And to be honest, I'm pleasantly surprised with how this turned out. I mean, you saw me in the kitchen. It was a bit of a mess. Oh, don't eat the raw egg. Put a generous amount of the homemade salad dressing on here. That's actually really good. The potato chips are a little more subtle than I thought they'd be, but it definitely adds some salty flavor to it. I think what I'm gonna do is take one of the garnishes and do a nice dip. I should have rated the appearance before I screwed it all up, but for similarity to the anime, on a scale from 1 to 10, I think that was probably like an 8. I was pretty impressed with how it turned out. And taste-wise, for a budget meal on the go that takes way longer to cook than anything I would ever cook, I'd probably give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10 for taste. It is pretty basic, plain fried rice, but the potato chips do add something special, so that is definitely worthwhile if you're gonna make fried rice anyways. But now let's try the salad. That is really good. The saltiness of the ramen with the Japanese mayo and then the vegetables is actually such a nice combination. Again, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I was pretty impressed with how that turned out. Probably give that like a 6 or maybe a 7. It was pretty good. I'll give it a 7. I think the plate is actually pretty similar to what they were eating on as well. 7, does that sound fair?
Sounds fair.
Getting nods from the cameraman. All right. And taste-wise, I'm giving that a 9. That is a delicious salad. The instant ramen is so much better than any crouton or anything like that, and it all works together really nicely. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any ideas for meals you'd like to see me recreate, please let me know in the comments. I'll leave links to the recipes in the description, so if you end up making these yourself, send some pictures my way, I'd love to see them. And if you feel so inclined, please consider joining the Kinda Neat community. I make videos here every week, and who'd want to miss the chance to see me accidentally burn my house down?